Welcome back to How to Plan Your Best Year Ever, Part 2. In this video, I'm going to take you through steps 7 through 10. Now that we've got a clear theme and we've extracted the gifts from last year, we are going to set the vision and create the goals for next year. Let's start with step 7, setting the vision. So we have kind of an idea from the last video of what we want this year to be like. We have an energy that we want to feel. We have some new opportunities and possibilities. Now we want to start to bring them into greater clarity. We want to create a vision. What is the vision for next year? What are some of the big picture outcomes that you want to have? So for example, a vision might look like, I want to stabilize revenue and have lead generation be graceful and easy next year. Another vision might be, I want to buy a property and fix it up and create this new space in which to host my events. Another vision might be, I want to host my first 4 retreats and launch my mastermind program. So these are sort of big picture, year-long things that you want to do. They're not goals because they're bigger than goals, and inside of them there will be multiple goals. This is sort of our overarching goal, our big vision for the year. Now, kind of a corollary to this is also to look at, well, what's the energy that I need to cultivate for that vision, right? So for example, if you're saying, okay, my vision is to launch these 4 retreats and my mastermind program, something that you'll want to cultivate is leadership, and cultivating the energy of leading others and feeling empowered and being in your full power, right? It's not going to work it won't support that vision if you're feeling disempowered and scarcity mindset. So you might want to cultivate the energies of abundance and leadership. So think about the vision, and then also think about, what are the energies that I'll need to cultivate and practice in order to achieve that vision? Step 8 is actually setting the goals. So there are 2 things I want you to consider as you're setting goals. The first is, what phase of business are you in? And the second is the different functions of business. So when we have clarity about the phase of business you're in, that often helps us gain clarity on what sort of functions you'll want to focus on in this next year. So there are really 4 phases, or another way to put it is seasons of business. You've got the very beginning of a business cycle, usually like, for example, when you're launching a new business or a new business product, and that's the season of ideation and creation. It's where you brainstorm, get new ideas, do a lot of research, and start to formulate a possibility. That's kind of an early stage in a business or an early stage of a new project or program. The second stage or season is the season of concentration and focus. When we're in the season of concentration and focus, we are launching something, and it often takes a lot more energy. Think about launching a rocket into space. We need most of the fuel that a rocket burns is burnt at launch, because it's that initial getting it up into the air that takes the most energy to lift it for the first time. Same with business. So when we're in that phase, once we've done the ideation, we have a new plan, getting into concentration and focus is like picking up the phone, creating the new website, investing in the business, calling people up, letting everybody know what you're doing the blog post, doing the social media posts, like all the activity. Generally, concentration and focus is characterized by a lot of activity. The third season is the season of momentum. Momentum is when the fire catches, like when you're lighting the match and it whoosh, finally takes off. Momentum can be destabilizing. It's like kind of like a roller coaster. There are ups and there are downs. It's not very stable and consistent. So we've got all this activity going, and some of it works and some of it doesn't. And there can be highs and there can be lows. So this is often the season of business where people can be euphoric, and they can also, get their hopes dashed. And then finally, the 4th season is stabilization. This is where we start to implement the systems and the processes, and the business starts to just kind of breathe and stabilize, and we don't have to be on top of it all the time, calling people up and doing all the activities. And we're not up and down. We're sort of normalizing. Monthly recurring revenue is coming in. It's more predictable. We can project outcomes. Now, the reason this matters is because in the different seasons, there are usually different functions that you'll want to focus on. So let me now walk you through the functions of business. But before I do that, I want to take a moment and invite you to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and remember that I always love to read your comments in the comments section below. So there are 5 essential core functions in any business. The first is the sales and the marketing function. I put this one first because it's the thing that's responsible for generating revenues in the business. So sales and marketing is what attracts new prospects, gets people in the door, converts them into sales, charges them money, and basically brings in the resources that your business needs to survive. Your second function is your finance and money function. Now, this is the tracking and organizing of that money that's coming in, and also the tracking and organizing of the money that's going out. The third function is operations. And operations is all about how you deliver and distribute the value that you provide to your clients. It's how you deliver on your promise. It's the processes and systems that help you operate. It's responsible for managing your time, your people, and your technology. The fourth function is your own leadership and mindset. This is the development of you personally as a leader. And then finally, number 5 is your team, your people. This is how you're supported in the business. This is your human resources function. This is your hiring. This is your firing, training, onboarding, and the development of your talent. So which functions do you need to focus on based on the season of business you're in? So here's an example. If you're in the concentration and focus season, right, where you're building activity and trying to activate and generate new clients, new business, generally speaking, sales and marketing is going to be one of your biggest focuses in that season. Later on, if you're in, say, a stabilization season, that's often when operations comes to the forefront, when you try to create systems and processes to streamline the delivery of your services and become more efficient, and then also focus on the finance function so that you can cut costs and be more profitable. So what you want to be looking at in this section of your planning process is what season are you in and what functions do you need to focus on? I would say identify one season and then identify 1 to 2 functions that are the primary focus for the upcoming year. Once you've done that, you can start to identify goals inside of those functions. So let's say you are in the season of concentration and focus and you've decided that the function you need to focus on the absolute most is sales and marketing. Now is the time to pick some goals that are related to sales and marketing. For example, you can say, I have a goal of executing 4 retreats next year and putting 15 people into each retreat and enrolling 15 of those people, of those 60 people, into my mastermind big back-end program. So those can be a series of goals. And let's say instead that you're in the season of momentum and there's a lot of ups and downs in the business and you're trying to get to more stability. You might want to focus your goals on retention. Okay, I'm good at getting new clients, but I'm not really retaining them. So how do we retain our clients better? Well, I'm going to set a goal of 80% retention. I actually did that in my business a few years ago. That was my number 1 focus for the whole year. Other goals might look like, okay, I want to start speaking more to drive more business, more opportunities, more sales. So I'm going to put a goal of 2 speaking engagements a month or 10 speaking engagements a month. So set goals inside of the functions based on the season of business that you're in. And once you have a series of goals set, you may or may not keep them all. Meet me over in part 3 of planning your best year ever. I'll see you over there.